This video is for harm reduction purposes. I do not promote the use of illegal or dangerous substances. Materials needed. LSD. Testing kit. Music device. Pencil and paper. A comfortable setting or a safe spot. 6 to 12 hours of time. A trip sitter. Optional. Step 1. Get LSD. I do not promote the use of illegal activity, so I am unable to help you procure any illicit substances. Step 2. Test LSD. Once obtained, you must test your LSD. There is a myriad of other substances going around masquerading as LSD. Some of these are very dangerous and they could end your life if taken irresponsibly. The best way to test your LSD is with a testing kit. You can use the Ehrlich testing kit or even the Marquis testing reagent will work. Step 3. Choose your dosage. 100 UG is the staple dose for a beginner. Now, if you're feeling very anxious, you might want to start with only 50 UG. As for experienced trippers, you're probably going to want to stick to the 200 to 500 microgram range. At those dosages this high, you're going to really see what LSD has to offer. You're going to get the full package, the full trip. Step 4. Set and setting. Whatever emotions you're feeling going into the trip will be amplified by the LSD. It is imperative that you go into this with a positive mindset. Now, on the other hand, if you're feeling very anxious because, say, you just lost your job, you lost a loved one, a family member died, you're just a really shitty human being, you're probably not going to want to trip right now, or maybe ever. Setting can be equally as important. Make sure that you trip in a comfortable and relaxed, preferably familiar place. As a rule, try not to trip around strangers. I mean, you can't really expect to remember who you are once the LSD kicks in, let alone who other people are. If you're around people you don't know very well, they could actually become terrifying. Step 5. Arrange a safe spot. Now, if you're going to trip in public or in nature, you really do need to have a location that you can retreat to if things get a little overwhelming. This can be a friend's house, this can even be a vehicle. Ideally, it needs to be somewhere that you're at least semi-familiar with, that you feel safe in, hence safe spot. Step 6. A list of goals. Some people enjoy LSD just for the adventure. Other people like taking it because it can help them answer hard to answer questions. Having a list prepared, such as this one, with some interesting written questions, such as what is the meaning of life? What is time? Where did we come from? This can be very beneficial for you because you're going to get some very unorthodox type answers to these questions, and even understanding in more detail what death is. Say you experience ego death, where you completely lose track of who you are and yourself, and if you have this experience, then carrying on in your daily life becomes, or can become better, because the fear of death can be greatly lessened, and not having this anxiety around death can allow you to live a more free, more fulfilling life. Step 7. A trip sitter. This is optional. Now, a trip sitter is very good if you're a beginner and you have a lot of anxiety around tripping. It's also good if, say, you're an advanced user and you want to do a dose that you don't know you can handle, like, say, you try 500 micrograms, which is a pretty intense dose. A trip sitter is preferably somebody who has experienced tripping. This is important because if they have experience with LSD, they will know that if you're experiencing ego death, you might actually think your physical body is dying. They'll understand that you're not in any danger, and they can help raise your mood. This is done by either taking you to a new location to change the setting, or by playing a song for you that you've prearranged that will help relax you. You'd be amazed how just changing something so simple as a song can make a bad trip start turning into a good trip. This being said, sometimes a bad trip is exactly what you need. Sometimes the substance will show you what you need to see rather than what you want to see. If you're a very weak-willed person, an intense trip can cause you to never be the same again and be afraid of everything. So you really do need to be cautious. Step 8. Music. Music can be very beneficial. When you're on LSD, sound in general is greatly enhanced. So if you're listening to layered music such as some techno songs, every soundtrack you can hear in such crisp clarity, it can take you to another world. It's beautiful. Step 9. Take LSD. Place the LSD under your tongue. Allow it to dissolve for 15 to 30 minutes. Step 11. Trip. The journey can last anywhere from 6 to 12 hours. During this time, you will experience a range of emotions, and a range of effects, not limited to Once the excursion has ended, you may find it difficult to sleep. Now, it's also important to reserve probably 1 full day after you trip just for recovery time. Undergoing these experiences can be very emotionally draining, and you will need a whole day to recuperate. Step 12, integrate. A lot of users report spiritual or mystical or religious experiences. Now, integrating back into normal society afterwards can be quite difficult. As for right now, that concludes this program. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that you can, if anything, take from this to start tripping more responsibly and at least test your substances.
Some butter. What does it say?
64. You're below average.
109 to 125. That's not too bad. Are the lines still running away?
Yeah.
That looks very much like me. Squat challenge.
It's really gonna suck if I already did this. Why are we doing this twice?
fantasy.